Hello, friends. Welcome to You Lost Me at Namaste. I'm your host, Michelle Schoenfeld, and I am so excited for a conversation we are going to have today. I am just thrilled to welcome back to today's show one of my favorite guests. Actually, to be honest, probably my favorite guest over the past year. Back by popular demand. Let's just dive right in and welcome back to You Lost Me at Namaste. S.A. Smith, you are a girl in the universe, truly a delight. Thank you for joining us today.
I am honored to be here. And I love to come and do this podcast. It's one of my very favorites. You and I just work so well together. We flow. So it's a wonderful time to be here. So thank you.
Absolutely. You may remember her from the first time she came in talking about Schumann resonance, which is so incredibly important to our everyday life, to our energy, to our world. And you can go back and listen to that episode and the other one she's been on as well. But today we're just going to kind of deep dive into a conversation about what's going on right now, because there's some intense energy going on here, December, the last month of the year.
I just got goosebumps.
I did too, actually.
This is December. This month is the biggest energy month we will ever have going forward. As I say that, the energies today, we're not supposed to have big solar energies today. The coronal holes just turn towards us that bring us the solar winds, yet we're being bombarded at this exact moment. It's just crazy. And we have the new moon and we have all these wonderful things happening and coming forward for us. It's a month where every week there's a big energy parade coming in for us, something that's allowing us to level up and level up our systems. It's beautiful and it's exciting. This is like light worker Christmas this month.
It really is. I love when you say that. It's so true. This conversation today is not going to really be a 101 level. Usually this podcast is 101 because there's so much important stuff to talk about. So I'll just put it out there now, and then I'll put it out again in the end. If there's anything that you're interested in as you're listening to this and you don't know what it is, you can find S.A. Smith, A Girl in the Universe, on Instagram, on YouTube, online. You can go back to this resource library and listen to the earlier shows because there's so much important information there. Today is going to be a little bit more informative at a higher level, of course, but no matter where you are in the spectrum of understanding and ascension and energy, you're going to get some really great information today. Before we dive into like some of the dates, would you mind just briefly, for some people who might be new, explain what you mean by the energy that's coming in, right? These solar energies that are coming in, how it affects us, like what kind of things people might be experiencing.
Well, it's kind of simple. Think of yourself as this beautiful system, your body, and it's been unplugged all this time because we've been in this realm on Earth where we didn't have these higher energies coming in. So now you're plugged in as these energies come in and things are working inside of you so differently. But as that happens, you get growing pains. And we call these ascension symptoms. They're not forever. Once your energy rises and matches the energy coming in, you won't feel them like you do now. But the more relevant ones for most people are ringing ears, fatigue, nausea. It kind of reminds me of pregnancy is what it reminds me. Bloating, restless legs are really big right now. There's a jaw pain that can get you, and that's part of a big upgrade. It all is hooked together, but it's all different. It's also emotional highs and lows because you're being brought in and asked to trigger what really is hidden deep. Those things that we go through, those traumas, we push them down really deeply, and these energies are helping you to see those and bring them back up. So you can see them and become one with them and understand them from a different perspective and release them out of your system. So then you can bring in more energy to do that again and again and again until it's all cleared. So it's a process, but it's a beautiful one. And it's one that you bring in so much knowledge and understanding. Each step you go through, you change. So as you're changing and transforming and growing, you understand more. And it's just a beautiful thing. It's not easy, but it's beautiful.
It doesn't always feel good, but really the results, like if you look where you were 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago,
3 weeks at this point.
Drastically different.
Yeah,
absolutely. So I just think, I know a lot of people have been feeling so off lately and really wonderful things are happening, but just this off and they can't quite explain it. And so I think it's important to know that you're not alone. If you're out there listening to this, this is what is going on. We're all in different stages of waking up and ascending and growing and getting our upgrades. And it just depends where you fall on the spectrum.
It really does.
It really does.
And you can be waking up right now and still be a higher vibration and not be feeling a lot of these symptoms. It's okay. It's okay if you're not feeling the symptoms. It just means your energy's higher. So that's really important, especially light workers. If you're out there and you're now not feeling symptoms and you're concerned that you're not doing enough,
Yeah.
no, you just hit that threshold. You're still going to feel these big ones.
Just enjoy the now.
Yeah, enjoy it while it's happening. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we're in December, towards the beginning of December. We have some important dates coming up. And I'm going to let you start, because I'll tell you, I talk a lot already. My listeners love you. So I'm just going to let you start with what dates are coming up.
Well, this month is big. December is literally one of the biggest energy months. And the reason I say this month is so big, it's because the energies are coming every day. Since February 23rd, of this year, we have had big energies every single day. And it started last winter solstice. So the solstice is always a big one. And you can expect our solstice this month to be massive. I'm talking massive. Knock you off your feet, massive. But before that, we have the 9th. There's something big happening energetically on the 9th. My guides always talk to me ahead of time when there's a big day, and they're like all over 9 this month. So just know on the 9th, if you're feeling, it feels to me like you're walking on a train. You know, when a train's moving and you're walking,
Yes.
That feeling, it's almost like waves hitting you. Do know that's Ascension symptoms, and do know that you're upgrading. And I expect you to feel that on the 9th, big time. Then we have our full moon. I believe that's on the 19th or the 18th is the full moon. Full moon is massive with these energies. As we go through all this, just know that the bigger the celestial event, the bigger the energy. We are connected into those things. It's also very interesting. Biblical things that are happening, like Advent every Sunday as we go through this, is a huge energetic time. And I'm not super religious, so I didn't put that together until my guides are like, notice these things, notice them. So it's important that you notice when you are feeling those energies most, because you are a compass to all of this.
It's really an interesting balance between religion and spirituality. And I don't talk a lot about it on the show, because as you become more awake and are ascending higher, you can see how religion has played a role in the level that people have been in around the world in their stage. So kind of the higher you vibrate and the more knowings you have, the more you're at peace and at love with all the religions out there, because they serve their purpose to some degree. But it's really more about spirituality and knowing that we're all connected.
Yeah.
Right. That we're all connected. So it's not, it's just that as you kind of become more spiritual and more connected with divine and your higher self and the universe, and realizing that there's so much more out there, the love just kind of takes over where religion used to be, if that makes sense.
Exactly. You can still have your religion. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
For a lot of people, it's comfort.
It's whatever you need, because this is you. This is all about you. Your ascension, your journey is complete and unique to you. So whatever you believe and whatever you need, that's all you.
Yeah.
So
just take the love from it, all the love.
Exactly. And there's so much love. As you start working and walking in your light, things change drastically and you see things so completely different. It is so interesting to think about how you used to see things, whereas now you can see them in the quantum and literally walk around a problem and see their side and your side and see where your baggage was and where their baggage was. And it's a beautiful thing, because forgiveness is key to everything.
Forgiveness to others and self-forgiveness for sure.
Oh.
And you need to forgive yourself. That's so incredibly important. And we can forgive others without actually even having to talk to them. And meditations and just put that forgiveness out there and ask for it and see it and visualize it. And you don't even have to physically have conversations with other people. The forgiveness will still come. It's important to say. Yeah.
And send it to them. And it's a beautiful thing. And you can forgive someone and it doesn't mean they didn't do it. You're just forgiving them for playing that part.
And releasing that. You need to make space for nice, yummy stuff.
It's a beautiful thing. And that forgiveness and understanding is hand in hand with the love. When you can do that and have that compassion, the love just flows. Yeah. And then suddenly you're everywhere you're going, people are coming up to you and they are pulled to you. Do you find that, Michelle? That you
Absolutely. And I will
My
say too, when I'm in a good place, which, obviously this is what I do. I love it. I meditate. I try to send as much light out every day. I want everybody who comes in contact with me to feel better leaving. I
that's
love to share the light. That's why we're doing this podcast. It's why you have your YouTube and all the things that you do. But
definitely.
we are human to some, right? We still have this physical body.
Yeah, and
And
we make mistakes. Everybody makes
exactly.
mistakes. It's so
And
important. There is no perfect human. It doesn't
right.
exist.
And
Do
there
the
are
best you can.
triggers and there are
Yes.
things, learned behaviors, and there are things that we have to unlearn. And, there's still stuff that goes. And so it's like really kind of like exercising. You have to be on top of it and be conscious of it and set your intention constantly. Keep
Mhm.
evaluating them and upgrading them and tweaking them and letting them evolve.
Yeah.
Um, so I want to
Intentions are
jump
so
back quickly.
important.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're going to get on that. I
Yeah,
definitely.
that's so important.
You had mentioned the full moon coming up in
Mhm.
December, later in December, and we're just coming off of this energy of the lunar eclipse and then
Huge.
this time period with the solar eclipse in the southern hemisphere. And so much of this was clearing the old, letting go, closing doors, new opportunities coming. So much has been going on in the past couple of weeks. Now we're moving in a couple of days to the 9th. And then
Mhm.
we have the portal of the 1212.
Yes. And notice how, also we have this beautiful asteroid, Leonardo, yeah, coming in between the 4th and the 8th. And you'll be able to see that in the morning in the eastern sky. It's massive. It's not a coincidence that that is bridging the gap between the eclipse and the 9th going into
Yeah.
that portal, because the portal is big.
So with the
Um,
portal, is this so now let's go into intention, right? It's a really good time to start
yes.
setting our intentions. We're powerful manifestors. We can get anything we think of. If we can think of it, that means we can achieve it. So
Pretty much. You have to remember it has to exist. The energy has to already exist so you can pull it to you. Because I was big on trying to like change the wall color. I used to say, we'll just think it and change the wall color. And my guides went, it doesn't exist yet. You can't pull that energy
right.
in level. So I'm like, whatever, guys. Okay. So yeah,
So tell us about setting intentions. What are some things that people can do? Like how do they set their intentions?
it's really important. Play a little bit in your mind's eye, see it, do some dreaming. We don't have to figure out how it gets to you. You just have to figure out what you want. So see it in your mind's eye, really see it like it's real, whatever it may be. Let's say you want a new car or a new house or a new job, whatever it may be, nothing's too big. There is no limit to this. Okay. Whatever you can see in your mind's eye, you can create in this world. So really see it in your mind's eye. But the important part with intentions is seeing it as real. We're not waiting. We're not hoping. We are making it happen. You are a manifester. There is no waiting, no line for you to get your stuff going. So see it in your mind's eye as real. And then take the energy of how that will feel when it's real and you feel it like you're there. You feel that energy of it, that it exists. So you put your mind's eye together with that energy, and that's your ball of intention. And then you say something like, my intention is to build this beautiful house I've been seeing. And then you release it and then you cut your energy from it. You do not want to continue that energy. And when I say you cut your energy, you send it out. Like think of it as you're ordering and you're sending this beautiful ball of intention out to the universe. Then you forget about it. You stop thinking about it. You don't want to send your energy back to it, because then it's like you've gone online and you're reordering and you're pulling it back to you. We don't want to do that. We want to send it, let it go, and then go to another intention, do something different. And just know that you put your energy in there and you sent it to the universe. The stronger your energy, the quicker that will manifest for you.
I love it. Um, it is so important to emphasize how it feels.
Oh yeah,
It's really
you've
about
got to get
how
the
it feels.
energy.
Yeah.
Not waiting, not
Yeah.
when it comes, but it's there. You see it as real. You feel it as real. Your mind doesn't know the difference between what you're dreaming about and what is actually here. So let them know by seeing it and feeling it and releasing it. It happens. It works. And manifestation in these energies, like on the 1212, that is something big. So another important thing I say is really know what you want. Don't think you want this.
Yeah.
And then it comes and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do with this? No, really think about what you want, because you can have anything. Abundance is your birthright. There's no waiting here. Anything you can dream up, you can bring in.
I try to say that every week on the show is abundance is your birthright. happiness, joy, love. It's your birthright. That's what you're born here to do. And
Exactly.
it's like, you could take a picture of something, let me see, like a little house, or like, a little house in a dirty part of the neighborhood that's run down. You can take a picture, and you can take a picture of this big, gorgeous mansion on the beach overlooking the sea with whatever. And the picture is just as easy for you to take. But when you look at it, it evokes two different feelings, right?
Yes, it does.
But the picture is just as easy to take. It doesn't matter what you're taking the picture of.
No.
So aim high, aim for what you want. Take the picture's easy. And that's the intention in manifesting. Just because it's something bigger or something more exciting to you doesn't mean it's more difficult to achieve. It's the
No,
same
not at
energy.
all.
And
And
so,
that's so important because
yeah,
people think I'm being selfish if I go for big. No, it's energy. You have it. You can ask for anything you want. There is no reason you can't have that. So go
yeah.
for it. You have
And
been programmed not to think that. Let me tell you, we've been programmed that for a reason, to keep your consciousness down, because you're amazing and you can do anything you believe you can do. So believe it, bring it in, make that magic happen.
it's nice to also be conscious of the positive, not positive, but like the intentions of what you want. Why do you want this, right? We want this to be happy, to feel fulfilled, to have more of those yummy aha days where you can't wait to wake up,
Right.
versus ego, like, if I have this, then I will be happy. If I have this, those people will think I'm valuable. We don't want
Whoever's thinking
those.
that is not manifesting
That's
anyway.
right, exactly. And it's
And that's
important
not gonna,
to be conscious, especially between now and the 12th, of when you're having these thoughts. Are these pure thoughts for you and what you really want? Because you feel like just yummy inside when you think about it. And sometimes a little fear, like a little fear is normal, right? If it creeps in a little bit, let it flow through, right? But if it, oh, but I can't have that, I'm not worthy, or, but how could I do that? I don't even know where to start, or there's no way I'll ever have that. All those like limiting belief thoughts, the minute you have those thoughts, push them out immediately. Let them just go
flip the
through.
narrative. That's what I do. Say cancel, cancel, cancel.
Cancel,
And then
cancel.
think of what you truly want and bring
Right,
that thought in. So now you flip that narrative. Now
right.
you're doing what you truly want. And that programming in your mind, that talk, that chatter,
Yes.
it doesn't own you. And if you do that all the time, if you flip that narrative when it comes in, and it'll go, it goes. I don't have that anymore. I don't
Yeah,
have
same,
that voice in my, yeah, it's gone. Can you
same.
imagine living with that anymore? That'd be just so difficult.
No. And I know when I was younger, in like my mid 20s, of definitely not feeling worthy, or even in my 30s, of like, but why me? And I would be like, but why not? But I also had the more of like, oh, I don't know. Right. And I'm sure you as well, in this line of business and what we do, we come across people who either teach this or have problems. We've had clients with this who think that like money is evil, or that nice things are bad. And
Yeah.
I
You
don't know
should
where
have
that comes from, but we should not have that. Let that out. It's just energy. Let it out.
that. There is
Limiting beliefs. Be aware
evil.
of your limiting beliefs.
Yeah, because you're not evil.
Yeah.
So why would that be evil?
Yeah.
You know, we work in the light, we walk in the light. I eat and breathe the light. That's what I
Yeah.
do. Nothing I do is ever evil. I just would never do that. So why would it be wrong for us to be able to support ourselves or make money or enjoy a wonderful life? There's nothing wrong with that. And bring that into your existence. It's all there for you. And we have this month, like between the portal and the full moon, you can do this every day with these high energies. I set my intentions every morning. I mean, that's what I do. It would
It's
be
so
really,
exciting. We're moving forward into this really beautiful space.
mm.
You also talk a lot about being in the now, like really living and appreciating and enjoying the now that you're in.
Oh yeah, it's so important that you stop what you're doing and just look around you, see the things around you, listen to the person talking to you rather than waiting to answer them. We as a society do that. You're listening to them talk and you're like, oh, I've got to get this answer. You don't really even hear what they're saying. Stop and listen. It's amazing when you listen to people and you're in that moment right now of gratitude and understanding and love. I mean, take time, take a day off. You know, it's okay. Take a sick day, go to a park, walk the dog, let the wind hit you, see the beauty around you. When's the last time you did that? Just stopped and watched the rain or watched the snow come down and just enjoy your life. That's what this is about. I mean, all these energies in your life, it's not about hustle and bustle. It's not about getting to the end of the day so you can sit on the couch and watch television. It's about you being in the moment and full of love, enjoying every second. When I get up in the morning, I try to go, everything I'm doing today, I'm doing because I choose to do, not because I'm forced to do it.
Mhm.
Even if I had a weird job, that's how I would do that, because I want to embrace the moment, embrace the time I'm here, doing the best I can do for the people I meet and be of service. That's, you know, everybody's different though, but you can do anything you want to do, but enjoy the moment. It's going fast.
And what about for the people out there who maybe feel like they don't feel motivated or productive and they're starting to feel a little anxious about that they're not doing, like they should be doing more stuff. They should be, right? I think
Yeah.
a lot of people, especially coming off what we've been going through, a
Yeah.
little bit more self isolation or being alone, feel
Right.
like I'm not productive. I'm not doing enough. I should be doing more. What do you say to that?
Who puts that should on you? Where's that should coming from would be my question.
Yeah.
Is that from you? Because if that's the case, make a list, start doing what you want to do, because this is your life.
Yeah.
You can do what you want to do. But do know it's okay to do nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just being like a fly on the wall is a wonderful thing to do. In this society, they try to keep you moving constantly so you can't think about yourself. You're not using your consciousness. You're not expanding out in your energy if you're busy. So it depends on what you want to do. Do you want to just allow yourself to be and work on you? That's a wonderful thing. But if you feel like you should be doing things, see what those things should be and do
Yeah.
them if you like, but don't be pushed to do things because society tells you to. That's different than what you should be doing. Yeah.
Whenever I get anxious about things like that, and especially like right now, since we are in this really exciting energy time, right? And we're like, okay, we want to set intentions and we want to clear and we want to get ready for what's coming because really wonderful stuff is coming and we want to be a co-creator to that, right? We want to set our intention and be a co-creator of what our life is going to manifest. So for me, whenever I feel that way, like maybe I should be doing more or something, just in my mind, I'm like, I am so grateful for this downtime right now. I am so grateful that I can do this because I know what it's like when life is busy. I know when there's so many things going on and you dream about being able to just sit and relax for a few minutes. And even if you're so excited because you love what you're doing, maybe you're working 14-hour days doing what you actually love. When you have those moments of downtime, like when I have those now, I'm just like, I am so grateful for this because
Oh, I
I know what's coming.
Yeah, I said when I can get on that couch with my Kindle and I'm curled up and getting to read, I am like so thankful for that moment that I am grateful for the couch I'm sitting on, grateful for the room I'm in, the fire going, whatever it may be. I'm I'm with you with that because it's so important to be that gratitude, to appreciate that time because I'm like you, I'm very busy. But I love what I do and I get to help people and that's what I'm all about. So when I'm helping somebody, I feel just as happy as I do on that couch with my book. So I'm very lucky in that way. But do remember, you control you. So
Yes.
anything you want to do, you can do. Just put it into your day.
I'm
Any way you
looking at
like.
my notes with us because there's so many things that I want to talk about. Um, I'm going to bring up again to people out there, maybe joined us a little late, that you have a YouTube channel.
I do.
And
Ruling
I
Universe.
love the videos that you put out there. And I did watch the one that you did just recently. And I really liked what you talked about. Our bodies are changing. And I don't feel like a lot of people are talking about that. And if you're listening to this show right now, it means that you probably are a light worker and you have a certain level of ascension already. So what we're saying is not like, what is she talking about? And if you don't understand, it's okay. Maybe it's happened to you, maybe it hasn't. But our bodies do seem to be changing. So if you look at things that you like to eat or drink now compared to 2 months ago, 6 months ago, 2 years ago, and where they're going, it's changing. And it's so true. When I was listening to you say that, I was like, wow, it's interesting. Like a lot of us gave up soda for very good reasons years ago. We know it's not good for us, right? Not good for our bones. Like physically, it's not good for us. There's a lot of things like that, processed foods. We know that. But there's a difference between knowing it and your body not tolerating it.
Yeah,
And
and that's exactly what's happening right now is you're being upgraded to a higher version of yourself and your system now can't tolerate the toxins in many of those foods. And they're even saying that it's going to get more intense as you go further. So you're going to find those things that you used to love, like pizza. I loved pizza, but grease, anything that shows any sort of grease, I can't even touch. It just completely grosses me out to the point. And wine, having a sip of wine.
That, I don't even think you mentioned that in the video. I was going to ask you about that because I've talked a lot on this podcast. You know, I went through chemotherapy and it changed my whole body. This was several years ago. And I wasn't really able to drink the same way afterwards, which makes sense because the liver and just my body being compromised. But our liver does regenerate. I work with a wellness center in Turkey. I am vegan, alkaline, healthy. I've done so much detox to get my body back in shape. And over the last 2 or 3 years, I've definitely started drinking wine again, not to excess, but again, you know, I don't recommend it. I don't think it's great for you. Alcohol is a poison. We know all the negative things it does to us, but I still enjoy my glass of wine here or there with, you know, a girlfriend for a birthday, whatever. I've noticed recently, more so recently, that even having a sip or half a glass can either make me feel drunk, give me a headache, or make me sick for 2 days.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I'm drinking a bottle of wine. I'm drinking a little bit of wine.
Yeah. Yeah. That's you changing that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like your whole system is changing to the point where I love the fact that you felt drunk, just like that, because it's a strange thing when you take a sip and you're like, "Ooh, I can't take any more of that."
How could that be? Right? It's like, how could I just taste it and already feel a major buzz? Like, whoa.
Well, you're lucky you can still take it in, because you will get very soon to a point where you won't even be able to take a sip. It'll make you sick. And that's why I say it's so important that you listen to your system. There's nothing wrong with you. You're changing and you're upgrading, and your system is trying to help you find the foods that work with you. So you're going to find this strange pull to things that are dark green. I can't explain it, but dark green foods seem to work with us very well. I
just drank my celery juice. I drink green juice. I actually love celery juice. I love how salty natural salt. It's not actually salty. It just tastes like it.
No, I love celery weird though, because I am not a celery person. And I was just telling my husband last night, I'm gonna get a bunch of celery. It tastes so good. I'm just gonna start eating celery. My husband's like, "You're talking about celery, right?" I am not you. I am not the vegan, healthy person that you are. I am a regular girl that, you know, eats regular food. And now suddenly I can't. So it's very interesting for me to be going down that line, that row. But so many of us are, because we just can't. And you'll notice it within your stomach really quickly.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. GI, to be honest, like not to be, to be honest, it's, you know, definitely there's a lot going on that something's not quite in balance. And I'm just like, okay.
You're purging. It's all purging right out of you, whatever way it can. But that's your signal. Your body's saying, no, you need something different. Change this up. So if you listen, you'll find that suddenly your stomach won't be sick all the time. Suddenly you're finding the things that work for you, to the extent where my guides told me not to drink my tap water here. Not that I drink the tap water a lot, but I did cook with the tap water and stuff like that. We no longer do that. They said for me, it's poisonous. So, you know, take that. That's me. That's not everybody, but do notice that if you're finding that your stomach is feeling sick after drinking the water, maybe you need a different type of water.
Yeah. It's interesting. There is so much in the water, depending what municipality or where you are in the country or the world, right? Obviously in Turkey, I mean, Turkey's a great country, but everybody drinks bottled water. Most of Europe, everybody drinks bottled water anyway, even if you're boiling pasta. I'm in Washington, DC, which isn't necessarily known for its water. I don't drink the tap water. But I do, it's interesting to say, I don't use it to like make soup, but I use it to boil pasta and sometimes make my coffee.
That's me too. Yeah. Or for the dog, even I was using that water for the dog. Now I'm using the filtered water for our puppy.
It's interesting. My son was home for the holiday and I watched him go get my filtered water and pour it in the cat bowl. And I was like, oh, what a sweetheart. If we're not drinking it, they shouldn't either. And I'm like, you are right. Very good point.
Exactly. I mean, they're our pets, they're our friends. So we have to take care of them too.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. I'm just loving this whole conversation.
Me too. I love talking with you. It's like talking with an old friend, you know. So.
It's nice when you come across somebody who's on the same plane, because the conversation level can be different. And I know we try to keep it broad for the show. So anybody listening, this hopefully also resonates.
Right. Exactly.
people who want more time with you can join your Patreon. Is that right?
Yeah, I have a
And they can get
Patreon.
more one-on-one time with you. The biggest feedback I get when I have you on, besides the fact people love you, is they want to hear even more. So a great way to do that.
Yeah, my Patreon is a wonderful thing, and there's all different levels. You know, Patreon is a support group, so you're supporting me and helping me. But I find that it's a two-way street. I just love my Patreons. I'm there all the time. You can send me messages all day long if you wanted to. I answer in the mornings before clients, answer at the end of the day after clients as well. And I do a lot of videos on the higher levels of my Patreon, because I can go in there and I can talk with them like I talk with you, and I can say whatever, you know, whatever's going on. And I don't feel comfortable doing that on the social media,
Right.
because in social media, there's so many different levels of light workers.
Yeah.
And I don't want to worry anyone. Not that I'd say anything that's worrisome. It's just that you have to understand where you're coming from and where we're at. So on Patreon, I can be very free with that. And I love that. And we do
talk at different levels, like very different levels.
Yeah, and we do monthly gatherings where we're all together live, and you can ask me anything, and I do readings with them. I even have a level where you can come in and do a monthly session with me if you want that, because, you know, I'm booked out 4 or 5 months in advance.
Right.
So on Patreon, I leave those spots open so you can come in every month and we hang out and talk with your guides or whatever you need.
That's great. I'll put links in the show notes to this, to your website, so people can find you on Instagram and your website and find what we're talking about. I'm actually thinking of doing a Patreon as well, starting probably January, for the exact reason that you just said, because to be able to have conversations at higher levels and more in depth, if people want to talk more about spirit guides, I will offer some meditations, guided healing visualizations, that kind of thing as well. So I think I'm going to start that in 2022.
Yeah,
I've definitely felt called to do that. And for anybody who's not interested, they don't know what Patreon is. It's a way to have a paid subscription with an artist or creative or intuitive like S.A. Smith, where you can have, it's a paid subscription where you get more one-on-one or more of an intimate experience, and also supports the professional.
Yeah, you know what's been lovely about mine with my Patreon, I don't work Mondays anymore. And now I put that on my Patreon. So I do way more with Patreons because I have that day open and we do like live meditations together. I love to do those.
Mhm.
We get together as groups and send our energy out everywhere, you know, whatever's needed. It's really, really fun because you're part of a community. That community feeling is so hard to find. We also have a Telegram private discussion group as well. So you can meet the other Patreons and talk with them. That's really important. They found their soul tribes as well. It's a lovely thing.
You've really curated such a beautiful community. I love, I don't have the time so much anymore, but I used to read so many of the comments on your posts.
It's wonderful.
It's wonderful. People are so supportive and so connecting, and it's a really beautiful community. If you're out there listening and you want to get to know some like-minded individuals, this is such a beautiful forum for it, to really be able to express yourself and connect in a non-judgment, beneficial way, and knowing that you're not alone. No matter where you are, you're not alone.
No matter what you're going through, somebody on there is going through that as well. And if you post it up, so oftentimes they'll come in and say, I know exactly how you feel, or I'll pipe in and go, hey, you're doing great, keep going. And I'm on Telegram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram and YouTube, basically anywhere and everywhere. Girl in the universe, you can find me. But it's the people, it's the community that makes a girl in the universe. I might be the messenger, but it's the people that are there. That's the community. And I'm grateful every day for them. They're amazing.
So we talked a lot about what's going on now in December, what people can kind of expect. There's going to be some big upgrades, a lot of changing. It's definitely a time to start setting your intention, really focus on what you want, meditate, journal, quiet time, whatever works for you. Be out in nature is always one of my favorites, to really think about exactly what you want. What these things are by how it makes you feel. How do you want to feel coming into this next phase, and set those intentions?
And you don't have to wait until portal day to do this. You can do this today. You can do this every single day, because those energies, they're there. You have a foundation now that we have never had before. So like we were saying, right now, those energies are strong right now. So you can tap into that anytime you want. It's really important. We should talk about meditation, because meditation has changed recently for the light workers. Many of us meditate for quite a bit. We tap in, we go in. That has changed over the last few weeks. I don't know if you've noticed that, But for many of us, they're saying, don't worry about being there for so long. It's causing a frustration level with some of the light workers because we can't get through. There's like a wall there right now. It's because we're about ready to go through a big change, and they don't want you to see it ahead of time. They want you to move through it gradually. So if you find that your meditation has changed, do not think you're doing anything wrong. It is not you. There's a whole community of us that are feeling the difference. Try to just do it like 10-15 minutes in the morning, in the afternoon, just kind of tap in. Bring in that silence, allow your team to come in and work, and your messages will come through. It's different at the moment, but it will change. It always is changing. So just know, I just wanted that out there because I'm getting messages about that every single day. And I want them to know that you are not doing anything wrong. Your connection is not changed. It is still there. It is changing, and it's happening to everyone. So just move forward. That's what we're doing.
I definitely have noticed that. Because I can connect so easily and quickly, as you can, being an intuitive and channeling, so I can connect with my spirit guides or higher self really quickly, that I don't spend as much time as I used to. But not used to, just in general, I just don't. I do it more frequently. Yeah. But
it's different.
When I can spend a good 10, 15, 30 minutes, it's like so exciting. It's like a luxury is how I feel. It's like, I'm going to go play. It's like getting a massage. I'm like, I'm going to actually do this. But realistically, a lot of times I don't do that. I just do short little connections. I did it before we started the podcast, of course, really just connecting to make sure that the information that needs to be said comes out in a very easy, relatable way. But just to give people an idea of how I do it when I meditate, because meditation is such a blanket word, and people think, oh, okay, we need to sit and chant a mantra over and over, or the Kundalini or Deepak Chopra. There's so many different ways out there. The majority of time, my meditation, when I say the word meditation, is just connecting. So for me, I close my eyes. I do these big arm circles. I kind of clear my energy, but I immediately kind of ascend out of my head up through the roof, 200-300 feet above, and just spread my wings, like spread these beautiful wings and just kind of like, it's like the best stretch in the world, and breathe. And then I'm like, I can't even explain how my whole body just like, it just feels so good. But it's almost because I'm not in my body anymore. I'm up.
Right.
And immediately feel the energy, immediately feel just revitalized. Then from there, it depends where I'm going. It depends what I'm working on or what I want to know, if I'm asking for guidance or if I'm just looking for whatever I'm looking for. So then it goes, depending on what I'm going to do. For a lot of people, it's a visualization, but that's a meditation. Like a meditation is really anything.
It is. And that's so important that we get that out, because so many people think you need to go lay down or sit somewhere for an hour and do the mantras, and the breathing does help to get you into that.
Breathing is so important.
That's really important, but it doesn't have to be. I like to say it used to be like making a phone call. Now it's like texting, I mean, it's that kind of difference. I'm with you. I connect in, I center myself, and then I let the messages come through. And like you, depending on what I need to do, I get the whatever it is. But yeah, it doesn't take a long time. I can do it very quickly now. And that's okay. It's you've earned that. It's like, as you ascend, you're more connected in, and you're able to get those energies and those information so much easier.
And best case scenario is obviously you have the time to sit and really enjoy. But if you wait for best case scenario, a lot of time that doesn't happen. So just do it. Do the 30-second, 2-minute, 5-minute, whatever you can do.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really important that you do it, because so many people, I cannot tell you how many clients I get that come in and go, I should, but I don't have time. And I'm like, you could have done it in 5 minutes before you came in. There is no excuse.
I do it on the airplane.
Yeah. And then I always get the clients that are like, my mind's too busy. And so I always tell them, put a dot on the wall, stare at the dot. And when the messages, like your mind starts talking, push it away. Do that every day for like 10 minutes. You're training your mind to push those things away. Yeah. Pretty soon you'll stare at that dot and nothing will come in anymore. That's when you have your silence. So that's how you do it. You just train yourself to do it. Anyone can meditate. Anyone can.
Anyone. Like Abraham Hicks says, she focuses on the air vent, like the air conditioning or heat, because that's something that she feels like she can always hear.
That's great.
She focuses on that, or like a ticking of a clock, certain things that you hear that you don't realize are background noise will work. there's something that you mentioned that I really like that you do, where you bring these energy cords of light and kind of anchor them to your root chakra.
I do all the time.
Would you
Yes.
talk a little bit about that, why you do it, what you get from that? Explain that to us.
Well, I use energy. So I work with the energies, and I always see these gold cords, and I'm always anchoring things in. I am not one that's going to think it there and it's going to stay. I need to anchor that puppy. I'm going to bring things in. I'm going to hold it. So when I bring my light in, I imagine this big, beautiful light straight from source coming in through me and like a pillar. And then I take this gold cord and literally with my hand, and you'll see this if I do this a session with you, I'll anchor it to you too. I see this beautiful gold rope. Think Wonder Woman's lasso. Okay.
Yes.
Gold. And I take that and I anchor it to me, and then I anchor it to my earth chakra, and I see it in my mind's eye, but I'm also doing it. If you were watching me now, I just did it. And I anchor it in my mind. I've just anchored that light in and it's hooked. I do this all day long to clients. I bring in that light and I anchor it to them, and it works. It's what you believe in, what you do, and what you believe works really does work for you.
And the root chakra is so important. So by doing this, you get more of a sense of grounding, connection, feeling fulfilled.
Actually, I do it to my earth chakra, which is 3 feet below your feet.
Yeah.
So it pulls it all the way down. So it's through me and down, and it's there, and it's hanging, and it's hooked in, and I'm like, woohoo. So it really works. It really does. Give it a try.
I love anything that works like that. It really is so important.
It is.
Because you can quickly change your energy. You can quickly change your mindset, whatever you're feeling. Once you start learning these techniques that work for you, whether it's a golden light shower or anchoring the light, or for me, I bring up roots through my feet. I bring it up from the earth and into me.
Yeah, you can do that too. Or you can do that. We need to be doing more of the meditation and more of the grounding into the sun now. If you're a higher level being, we ground into the sun. Again, I need to see it. I'm a visual person. So I see the roots that I used to have going out of my feet, coming out of my hands, and they go to the sun, and they wrap around the sun, and I feel it as soon as, like we're talking about. It works. And whatever works for you is important, because it's
when I'm feeling off balance is when I do that, to be honest. And so the full thing, what I do without like going into it. So I bring up this golden energy through my feet and kind of fill up like a reverse hourglass. And then I do exactly what you said. And I bring in the sun and the light energy down in. And for me, it's gold and more like silver sparkly. And then I let it kind of all mix together in my body and like go into every little cell and just kind of clean my energy body and make it nice and balanced when I'm feeling off. Because sometimes I'm too up in the sky and sometimes I'm too down, but I know when I'm off. Like, we're happiest when we're balanced.
Definitely.
And when I'm not balanced, it's usually because I've picked up on somebody else's energy, or I haven't cleared from something else that I've been exposed to. When I'm not really being mindful of myself, when I'm not doing enough self-care, is when I need to come in and rebalance.
Exactly. And I love that you go above and below, because you have to have, and sometimes that'll mix right at your heart chakra. So you've got that upper coming in and the lower coming in, and it starts here and it balances you really well. So that's a beautiful thing that you're doing. Really, really helpful.
So we were talking before, I want to go back a little bit about setting intention. And part of setting intentions and having them manifest is also being aware. So I would say to people out there listening, start really being aware of things that you asked for or set your intention, whether consciously or subconsciously, that have manifested already in your life, right?
Yeah.
Things that have already come to fruition. And it goes both ways. And an example is, I have a really good friend who's always like, babe, you're a powerful manifester. You get whatever you think about. And I laugh because it is true.
Whatever,
but sometimes
it's the key there.
I have plans coming up and it's something that I was really excited about, but the truth is I kind of don't want to do it. And I just said yes. And because I knew it was the right, like I felt like it was the polite thing to do. And at the time, but the truth is I really don't want to go. And my energy is telling me don't go, but social obligations is keeping me going. But I'm like, I really don't want to go. I really don't want to go. I just, maybe something. And then next thing you know, it's canceled. And then I'm like, oh, but I wanted to. It's like, no, you did not want to go. You just manifested that by setting so much energy towards you didn't want it to happen. Right. And I only give that example is that we have to be mindful of what our thoughts do, because our thoughts can create our reality.
Oh yeah. I can blow out my whole afternoon with clients. I have to be very careful. One time I was running behind and I was like, I hope the rest of my clients understand, because it happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was like, I hope the next clients are running behind. every single one of them canceled. Do you know how unusual that is? In the
Yeah.
same day for them to cancel the whole day. I was like, and my guys are like, you did that. I'm like, okay, so I don't do that anymore ever.
Yeah.
I don't want to cancel out my whole day. But I think something very important that you just touched on is boundaries.
Yes.
Boundaries are so important because as you ascend, you'll start to realize that you're in your power and no longer do you feel the need to please others the way you do as the human you. And as you grow your boundaries, you become more in charge of you, and those boundaries become so important. I used to be very much a yes girl. I'm not a yes girl anymore. And I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but if it does not work and does not resonate with me, I'm not doing it.
Right.
So, and it's not a mean thing. It's not an ego thing at all. It's the boundaries. And it took my whole life to get to this point to where I understand how important they are, because you're important and your time is important. So we have to set those boundaries so that we're able to enjoy our time and put yourself first. That is something we do not do in this society, especially as women. We're like family first, husband first, life first, or mate, spouse first,
Yeah.
then your children, and then you, if there's anything left. It doesn't work. You need to put you first. And it's not ego. It's not being selfish. It's being truthful to what you need, that self-care, and you put you first. Everything else will fall into place.
And you never will regret it. You'll never regret it. I know you and I have shared privately, we've had a lot of changes in our life, you know, in the last year or 2 years, with the people who are in our life and the things around us. And it doesn't always feel good at the time, but I'm telling you, it's always worth it. Let those boundaries be, let people come, let people go, let things that you want to do happen and things that you don't want to do. As you said, it's okay to say no. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing because beautiful things are coming and you're just making space for things that are going to feel like saying yes to. The things that you want to say yes to are going to enter when you start learning how to say no, thank you to the things that you really just don't want to do. And it could be wonderful people doing something that sounds like so much fun at an opportunity that fits perfectly into your schedule. And for whatever reason, you still don't want to, or you're not feeling it. That's okay. No, you don't have to make any excuses. You don't have to give any reason. Just no, thank you. And trust that really wonderful things are coming. They are for us all.
They're already lined up for you. All you have to do is walk forward. They're coming for you. All of this is happening for you, not to you.
And getting on this ship, going into this next phase, we're not taking the baggage with us, right? We're not able to bring 10 bellmen with us to carry all of our crap.
No.
We're going us. Our new, higher, beautiful, wonderful, lighter, more intuitive,
amazing
self. And we don't need all that baggage. We don't need the bellman. We don't need all the suitcases. We don't need the pulley.
We don't need the shoes. Yeah, no, we just need us.
And so that's also the same with relationships and just a lot of different things, a lot of changes.
You're going to see a lot of changes in your friendships because when you start seeing things differently, you want to share with everyone around you and they will look at you like, what are you talking about? Stay down here with us. We're unhappy. We like you to be unhappy with us. And as you rise above that, you're going to see some of them kind of slip away. It's really, really just science. Your energy rises. And if their energy is not rising, they're either attracted to your energy to try to move up with you, or it's like a magnet and pushes them away. And that's okay. You can send them love and light and understand that it's not personal. It's them. It really is them, not you. And that's okay. And at some point they might come back. You just leave that space open because, you know, we understand people need to go through what they go through because you're going through something amazing.
Absolutely. And it's setting healthy boundaries too. Like you realize that you can't really tolerate gossip anymore. You're not interested in it. You know, you're not interested in the news necessarily so much anymore. Like, you know, things that are going on in pop culture, like not, there's not certain things that are fun or grab our attention, but in general, they're just not interesting anymore. It's just kind of boring. It's not because it doesn't resonate. Those are not high vibrating energies. And so they're just not so important anymore. You know?
I don't watch the news because I understand that all that is not really, you know, we have a different view of all that. So in my home, everything's fine. I shut my little doors and do my stuff with my family. And you'll notice this too. If you find that the news is getting to you, what you're hearing out there, and you're becoming concerned, shut it off. Shut off your social media, walk away and notice in your home, everything's exactly the same as it was a year ago.
Exactly.
Nothing has gotten into your
Yep.
house. Nobody knocking down your doors. Nothing strange is going on, and you are fine. It's only if you connect to the energy of that you feel the emotion of the concern.
It's so
So
true.
it's up to you. You connect when you feel like you want to connect, but you're in control of you. You manifested the whole reality around you, your whole home, your people in your home, your situation. If you don't like it, realize that you brought that in because you weren't being conscious of what you're manifesting. But now you're listening to us, and now you're conscious of what you're manifesting. Manifestation happens with your words, your thoughts, your emotions, what you say, what you feel, what you're talking to yourself in your head. That creates the world around you. So if you're mindful of that and hone that in and really control what you're saying and seeing and living, you'll see a huge change around you. And it happens quickly. It doesn't have to take a year, especially in these energies. You can manifest in the same day. You can manifest little things too. We didn't talk about setting intentions for, like, I do that at the grocery store. I set an intention for a front parking space. As I drive away, I set that intention and I see that spot. And when I get there, that spot's there.
I did that last night. I went to dinner in DC. There was the national tree lighting. There's so much going on. I was going to dinner with a friend, and I was like, should we Uber or drive? I was like, let's drive. There'll be parking. And sure enough, half a block away, perfect spot, easy to get into, right in front, like in a crazy downtown Washington, DC. I had total faith. And sure enough, it was right there.
Of course, because
Yeah.
you manifested it.
Yeah.
You believed it. If you believe it, it will be. That's the thing with manifestation. You have to believe it. Bring it in. Believe everything. When we were children, we believed everything. It's connecting to that inner child within you. Let her out or let him out. Let them play.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful thing.
Well, I can't believe this hour has gone so quickly yet again. This has been such a pleasure to have you on the show today. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you for having me. I love coming in, and it's just so fun to talk and share.
Yes.
And
Is there anything else that you feel like that you really want to make sure that people understand? I know that self-care is always really important. Is there anything else that you want to say? Any parting remarks?
Well, self-care this month is really big. If you're finding that these energies are getting to you, a nice, wonderful salt bath really helps. And setting that intention over the water before you get in, that it's a healing bath. And when you get in, it's going to heal your system. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. So realize that that is in your toolbox for this month, because you might need that a few more times. Even a shower, when you stand in the shower, you imagine that water is cleansing and clearing your energy and removing anything and everything that's not for your greater and higher good. It works. You can also call your team in. If you don't work with your guides and you've never talked to them, they're still there. So you can pull them in and say, hey guys, and I do this all the time, I need you to cleanse and clear my system and hold me up at the highest vibration I can possibly hold, and maybe a little higher so I stretch, and keep me there through the day. I do this every day, and my guides keep me balanced and up so I can work with clients through those massive energies. It is not a trick. Anyone can do that. Your guides are all around you. They're there to work with you. So
I love that you said, hold me higher so I can stretch.
Yeah, I like to stretch.
That's a good one. I'm going to add that in to mine.
Yeah, because we need to expand that energy. It's a good thing.
That's beautiful. I do the shower part all the time, and just, it disappears down the drain and gone.
It's a wonderful thing, and it works. And the more you believe in, the more you will contain and control the world around you, because it really is your pocket reality. It's your home. Whatever you want in that reality is yours.
It's so true. I also feel like if you're not sure what to do right now in this time, if you just feel like a little antsy, you're just not sure, cleaning is always a good thing. Clean a closet, clean under the bed, clean. If there's a place that you've been ignoring, clean, because we want our space around us clean. It really does hold energy. And the cleaner and more sparse it can be, maybe make a pile for donation, even if it's a small pile, it'll feel so good to get it out of your house.
It does. It does. And it's funny. It's like a nesting vibe we'll have this month. So if you feel that, know that you're getting ready for something wonderful coming into your life, because it's coming. It's there for you. You just have to connect to it.
Oh, this is beautiful. All right. So for those of you who want more of a girl in the universe, again, the link will be in the show notes. You can find her. If you're interested in the spirit guides, I don't know how I would have made it through the last 10 years without directly connecting to my spirit guides. You can contact her as well. She can help you figure that out and how to learn who they are.
You can come to girlintheuniverse.com. Everything's on there. You can connect in, you can book a session directly on there, and we can talk. I have this really great session that I'm offering right now is a higher self session, and it's an hour and a half. And I pull your guides and higher self through, and we literally talk to them. And many times your guides will show up and they'll take us on past lives, and we'll go and I'll see everything there, and I'll see your life in that, and we'll discuss what's happening. And it's my favorite thing to do right now. So yeah,
It's really a wonderful, I don't know if you do gift certificates or not. I'm just going to put it out there now since it's December. This
If
is
you reach
something
out to me via email, I mean, and
Yeah.
you can reach out on the site. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. I do that for people for birthdays all the time. They want to bring their brother in for a birthday something, or they want to do a beyond quantum healing, which is like a 4-hour session where I put you under, and then you have the adventure. I'm just with you. I'm like your wingman. You go through your past lives, future lives, whatever. We do a lot of that for people's birthdays and such. It's a lot
So
of
maybe
fun.
that'd be a good gift to give yourself, going into January, February. People get the blues that time of year sometimes. Days are shorter sometimes. Maybe that's a great gift that you can give to yourself if you're interested in this kind of thing, because it really can be transformational, life-changing experience.
It can. And I just opened, I'm booked up several months, but I just opened Tuesdays and Thursdays for March and April. So there's some dates there now open that weren't there before.
Okay. Well, I guess that's a wrap for this episode of You Lost Me at Namaste. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. Anytime, Michelle. Love you dearly.
Love you is back. So know that you are worthy, you're enough, you're born for a reason. Until next time, I'm your host, Michelle Schoenfeld. Namaste.
Have a great week.